Hey, this is the Recklessly Skeptical podcast. My name is Joe.
My name's Matt.
And this is Josh.
You can find our podcast on Spreaker and YouTube. Also, check out our personal pages. That would be The Evil Atheists on YouTube and ZZZ Giant Awake.
And are we on iTunes yet, Matt?
No.
We should do that, really this week.
Super soon. And then also come to our Facebook group page, The Evil Atheists. Matt, did we get any emails?
We'll do that in the second half.
Yes, we will have to check.
Don't forget to email us with questions or rebuttals of anything we say or whatever at recklesslyskeptical@gmail.com.
All right. I think we're ready to rock and roll, right?
Let's rock and roll, guys.
I rock and roll constantly, motherfuckers. You don't need to tell me to rock and roll.
Whoa. Shit's getting crazy up in here. All right, guys. So today is May 1st, 2016, and we are going to start this podcast off with a stolen thought. Isn't that what we were calling it?
Yeah.
Yep,
stolen thought.
Matt's stolen thoughts.
Plagiarizing.
So, this is from The Age of Reason by Thomas Paine. Great book. I say that every time. Go fucking buy it. Go fucking read it. So, a lot of people always say that our founding fathers were Christian. They were not. So, I'm going to read a little part showing that Thomas Paine was a deist and he did not believe in Christianity.
Yeah.
All right.
And one thing I want to point out, you can actually get this for free, most likely. It's past copyright time, so you can probably find it online for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I paid for mine. That's bullshit.
Yeah, you paid for a fancy cover that has another free use print on it.
Alrighty, here we go. Quote, I believe in one God and no more, and I hope for happiness beyond this life. I believe the equality of man, and I believe that religious duties consist in doing justice, loving, mercy, and endeavoring to make our fellow creatures happy. But it should be supposed that I believe many other things in addition to these. I shall, in the progress of this work, declare the things I do not believe and my reasons for not believing them. I do not believe in the creed professed by the Jewish Church, by the Roman Church, by the Greek Church, by the Turkish Church, by the Protestant Church, nor by any church that I know of. My own mind is my own church. All national institutions of churches, whether Jewish, Christian, or Turkish, appear to me no other than human inventions set up to terrify and enslave mankind and monopolize power and profit, end quote. Fucking badass.
Yeah, in our history, we have a deep history of anti-theism in the United States, and that doesn't get talked about at all.
Yeah.
Got completely whitewashed out of history when we decided to put "In God We Trust" on our money and all that stuff in the 50s.
It was to battle against communism, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The
atheist communists.
It was actually, I can't remember which one came first. It was either the paper money or the coins. I think they put it on coins.
Yeah, well, before.
Like during the Civil War, and then paper money in the 50s. But it definitely wasn't there.
Before the 50s.
Like with the founding of this country.
Yeah, and we weren't one nation under God until like the 1950s.
Yes, totally.
We're just one nation indivisible. But now I guess we're under God indivisible.
And they're taking God out of schools and all that stuff.
We'll have a story on that later. So let's kick off, Matt. I think you've got the first one.
Yeah, so this is coming from Occupy Democrats. So, top Republicans defend child rapist Hastert. He gets his integrity and values from God, guys.
Maybe we should touch up a little bit on who he is real quick. And then we can read the...
It will explain it
it
right
does?
here.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, former Speaker of the House and anti-LGBT family values warrior Dennis Hastert was just sentenced to 15 months in prison over the paying of hush money to cover up his serial child molestation. former House Majority Leader Tom DeLay, and 41 other Republicans had the nerve to write letters to the judge, standing up for his character and somehow using his piety to excuse his monstrous crimes. So listen to this. This is from one of the letters. So I know his heart and have seen it up close and personal. We all have our flaws, but Dennis Hastert has very few. He is a good man that loves the Lord. He gets his integrity and values from him. He doesn't deserve what he is going through. I ask that you consider the man that is before you and give him leniency where you can. So, what do you guys think about that awful shit right there?
Yeah, I mean, talk about the party of family values. Always doing the trying to excuse the worst shit possible. Like, I can't think of anything besides murder that is worse than child rape.
I know, it's just mind-blowing. He is a good man that loves the Lord. He gets his integrity and values from him. But he raped children. Then he paid hush money to silence those families. And you have the former speaker plus 41 other top Republicans sending letters to the judge trying to defend him.
And this is the judge that said that described him as a child or serial child pedophile, or what was it? A serial child
molester.
Yeah, molester.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is absolutely no good, and it's astounding that people can somehow defend that. Like,
It's like we all make mistakes. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you call your significant other a name you probably shouldn't have in the middle of a fight. That's a mistake.
yeah,
Okay? Not going around and being a serial child molester. No,
Yes.
that's not a little mistake. You might as well say, oh, Ted Bundy, he made a couple of mistakes when he killed all those people. No, that's not a little mistake. And what's crazy is I've seen videos of poor black people and stuff who molested 2 kids, and the guy got life in prison.
yeah.
Why isn't this guy getting life in prison?
15
months? 15 months? Go fuck yourself. Just because you're a rich politician, rich white politician, it's you can do whatever the fuck you want and get away with it. It seems like
Privilege doesn't exist in this country, though.
So further from the article, fortunately, the judge didn't agree with that absurd logic. Quote, if there's a public shaming of the defendant because of the conduct he's engaged in, so be it, said Thomas M. Durkin as he handed down his sentence. It's clear that the Republican Party's attempts to present themselves as our nation's moral compass are entirely baseless, as they have now cast their lot in with the child molester instead of siding with the victims.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, and it's something that happens in a lot of different contexts. And this guy was the longest sitting Speaker of the House of Representatives. Us as a country should be ashamed of this.
Yep.
But, yeah, leave it to other white Republicans who might have made the same mistake to try and protect him.
Yeah, for real, huh?
Yep. Yeah, because they can sympathize with another white rich dude doing something that's sexually perverse according to their standards. And should be by any standards.
And it's crazy that so many of the right-wing, Republicans are so pissed off about gender-neutral bathrooms, and they're scared about the children getting molested in the bathrooms by transgender people, which really has no basis. But an actual child molester, they're like jumping behind and defending him.
Well, it's because he's one of them.
It's just the hypocrisy is, I was going to say it's astounding, but it really isn't. The more and more you follow politics and watch the Republican Party, it's not astounding anymore. It's just the norm.
Yep. All right, let's move forward. Joe, do you have a story on this one, or pulled up on it, or are you just about to?
The pretty cool science story?
No.
Or
the Hillary correction team online.
Yeah!
So you have it pulled up?
Yeah, I got it pulled up. Okay, so this is coming from Evocative. April 26. Okay, this is a really important story. The online war between supporters of Democratic candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders escalated ahead of Tuesday's round of the primaries, this time to include $1 million and an alleged coordinated porn attack. According to The Hill, pro-Sanders Facebook pages such as Bernie or Bust, Bernie Believers, and Bernie Sanders is My Hero were attacked Monday night. Eyewitnesses said the pages were spammed with porn and then reported for obscene content. Facebook confirmed to The Hill that the pages were in fact inaccessible for a brief period on Tuesday afternoon. Vocatives observed pornographic images popping up on the group Bernie Sanders Dank Meme Stash. And so, let's see here.
So, I mean, there's really kind of two stories there. I don't know. I think that's enough of the story to just talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all familiar with what's going on because I'm sure all of our pages have been inundated with it. But it sounds like the one story, there are two separate stories that we know for sure, and we don't know for sure if they're linked or not. The first one is that there's a Hillary correction team where she paid money to have online people go in and go to these Bernie sites and kind of troll the Bernie pages and say, hey, you should be a Hillary supporter, or you guys are dumb, or stuff like that, just to frustrate Bernie supporters or to try and change their minds. But I don't think those tactics would ever work. And then there's another one where Hillary supporters definitely put porn on Bernie Sanders supporters' pages and then flagged them down.
Yeah. And child porn.
Yeah, and so there doesn't look like there's... I would be shocked if Hillary Clinton was so stupid as to say, hey, go put porn on people's pages or Hillary's team. Because I think that would be... obviously, like, that would be terrible for her team. That would look terrible if those emails came out, and it would look like a criminal attack, because that would be essentially slander. But... it looks like they actually neglectfully enabled it. Said, hey, go free, go do your damage, go do as much damage as possible.
Well, David Brock is part of Hillary Clinton's campaign, and he runs the super PAC that was paying $1 million to trolls.
Yeah.
And part of that super PAC, they had a Facebook group with, people who... I don't know if they were necessarily being paid money to go troll, but from that Facebook group, the same David Brock, who was running that page or whatever, works for Hillary Clinton's campaign, and that was the...
But you can't run a super PAC and work for Hillary Clinton's campaign.
No, you can't. It's illegal. But no, Hillary can. She can do all sorts of legal things.
Well, no, the coordination, I mean, there has to be technically a step removed in the coordination. So she can't directly coordinate, but she can, like, there was this picture, this video that came up from, what's the guy who's in charge of the Senate right now? The guy who, John, I'm trying to remember.
Boehner? That's the old
That's the
speaker.
old Speaker of the House. I'm talking about the Senate, the guy who kept on getting made fun of for being like a turtle. Mitch McConnell, there we go.
Oh, okay.
So Mitch McConnell put out this video where it was just like him smiling and him turning towards the camera and stuff like that. And it was like this weird, creepy video. But that's because he couldn't coordinate with his campaign. But they needed stock images of him doing those things. So he just put those up on YouTube, and that way they had access to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like she can put out statements saying, well, it would be nice if some of these online Bernie supporters had some resistance to him, and then the super PACs can through that way then go and do what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, like, it looks damning in the sense that it's reckless. It's not reckless like legally reckless, but it's stupid. Like, so Snapchat had an app out saying, showing you the speed that you were going, and people would take pictures, and if you got over 100 miles an hour, you got a trophy or some shit like that.
Are you shitting me? So Snapchat was...
Yeah, so they weren't doing it to intentionally cause people to speed, but there have been a couple car accidents that have happened because people are trying to get that, and the idea is you're supposed to get it on a plane or as a passenger on a car or something like that. But of course, you've got to understand that people are going to be stupid and use that negligently and go and drive irrationally and recklessly. So because of the negligence of the Hillary camp, that's what fed to the situation where they're essentially causing people to do things like post child porn, which is a criminal offense.
Well, even Hillary says she thinks you should be able to sue the gun manufacturer if some person buys one of their guns and goes commits a crime. Well, maybe we should sue Hillary for child porn because her little followers, she didn't directly say, hey, go post child porn, but they're acting out of her interests.
Yeah,
they're acting out for her.
And I think because of the way the laws are written, there's no way that you could ever sue her for that, but you could definitely go after the super PAC if you had, if you were the victim of that. So if you were the child in the child porn who's now hopefully an adult, but if images of you were posted because of actions taken by a Hillary PAC, you could sue the Hillary PAC.
Oh, okay. And I imagine the parents could of the...
Yeah, the guardians or parents could. So hopefully there's some action taken against it, because that's completely negligent on their part. They shouldn't be encouraging people to go and do malicious acts like that.
And just the guy or people who did it just shows what kind of character they have. You're not trying to have an honest discussion, and you're not trying to debate the real topics. You're just going to throw shit out like that that's just disgusting.
Yeah, and I don't want to impugn all Hillary supporters for that, because it was a handful of Hillary supporters in coordination with some coordination of her super PAC. So yeah, you should be angry at the super PAC, and you should be angry at the people who did it. But we can't go and say all people are like that. But on the flip side, I do want to point this out. With the Bernie bro movement, with that accusation coming out, just imagine if a Bernie supporter did something like that.
Oh, it would make the news.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe this didn't make the news.
It has made some news stations, but as a small story and an aside, it's not a major news story. But if it was Bernie doing it, they're Bernie bros. What do you think about these Bernie bros? And Bernie
posting
would get
child porn. Can you believe that?
The next 10 times Bernie was on any news station, they would ask him questions about it.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do that to Hillary.
Of course not.
So, yeah, it's frustrating that there's not equal treatment here to Hillary and to Bernie. And I mean, it's fine if they want to ask those hard questions, because Hillary should go on record stating on every news station that she goes on to that is not acceptable behavior, and that she shouldn't even have, and that she does not approve of her super PAC sending money to trolls to troll websites.
And she hasn't come out and said anything about it, has she?
Nothing at all.
Not that I'm aware of. So, all right, is there anything else you guys want to talk about on those two stories that we kind of covered?
It's disgusting, and I can't believe they did that, and I can't believe it's not even making the news. Like we just said, like I'm talking blowing up, going viral on the national media, because if it was Bernie Sanders supporters, that's exactly what would be happening right now. Every single news station would be talking about it, and it did make some news, because it's Hillary supporters, but it's a fucking joke. I can't handle it.
Yeah, and I will really quickly want to take a second to plug the second half. The second half, we're going to be talking about Hillary Clinton's town hall discussion and kind of the Bernie or bust thing. And I know that that's been a heated topic, and it will definitely be something worth checking out in the second half of the podcast. So please listen to that if you want more on Hillary and Bernie. All right, let's talk about some pretty fucking cool science.
You wanna do the pretty cool science story?
Yeah, that's the next one in the slot.
Oh, is it?
That's why Matt drew an arrow.
Oh yes, slots.
Slots.
I like slots. Okay, so this is coming from Shocking Science, April 18th, 2016. And it is NASA tests the XRS 2200 engine, and it's freaking awesome. All right, so it comes with a video. It says, watch this test, which may be used in future space missions by NASA. In 2015, NASA has made a lot of internet and magazine headlines with talks and tests of new kinds of propulsion systems. One in particular that they tested, you may have seen. It is called the EM drive propulsion successfully, which is a microwave-based system. And don't... it says, and don't use it to make popcorn. They just threw a funny joke in there.
Yeah.
But here's an intro on the XRS 2200. This engine was designed to be modular and was going to power the long since canceled X-33 Venture Star. I knew I had seen a video of this before, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Found it finally through a dead hot link to a Marshall Space Flight Center news release still on their server, but it doesn't turn up under any Google or NASA site searches for Aerospike. So we're going to send you, or we're going to put this link in the description on the video so you guys can check the video out. I'm going to hurry and go to the next page. Sorry.
Yeah, and actually, I think that we're good with what we've got now.
Yeah.
The EM drive it's one that doesn't work with our understanding of physics currently.
Yeah.
It is fantastic because it might be what we can use to actually travel through space. Like legitimately. Like we can, using that engine, if it scales up properly, the way that the current tests have been done so far, is that if it scales up properly, we can build a drive that will get us to, I can't remember what the next star is, in something like 40, 50 years, which is soon enough that you could send a human there. We could have probes there within our lifetimes, which is unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, what we need to do, too, on the next science story, we can talk about those little miniature EM drives that you have seen built, like scientists have built. And they're pretty cool how they move and, scaling them up. And then we can post some links. Yeah,
so if this scales up correctly, we will have possibly access to other solar systems in our lifetime.
Yeah, like you want to go see Mars for the weekend?
Yeah.
That type of shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
go fly or take a cruise around Mars for the weekend, come back home for work,
I haven't heard about these. I need to
Oh, really?
look them up.
Oh, yeah, they're way cool.
They're
way cool.
So this news broke about the same time that The Martian was there, and they said if his technology worked the way that it did, what they would do is they with this technology they could launch a new shuttle. They could create and launch a new shuttle and get there in half the time that mission did to get the second round to go and pick up Matt Damon's character.
Yeah, it would have been just fine.
So there would have been no problems. They could have picked him up, and he would have had food to spare without growing any of his own.
Really?
Yeah.
Josh, I sent you the
That's
link to
awesome.
this story.
Cool. I'll go ahead and post it with this video and on the podcast.
The video, you can tell, dude, this engine kicks out so much power. It's ridiculous. Here, Matt, I'll show you for a second. What? Look at that.
All right, I'm going to pause while Matt gander. All right, so is there anything else we want to talk about on that?
No, just make sure you guys check out the links and watch the video. It's pretty cool.
And there's a lot of cool stuff happening about space travel, like really cool stuff. There's other engines that we're using that are actually not engines at all. They're ways of using lasers and light to travel, to move probes endlessly, essentially.
Well, you know what I'll do? The next science story we do, whether it's probably not the second half of this podcast, but maybe the next science story, I'll do a bunch of research and get a bunch of links and stuff, and because I love space travel. I think it would be so cool to just be able to travel space and easy as well, and that's what a lot of these new engines and things are taking us.
For sure. All right, so I've got the next story. It's kind of just a lighter story. This is coming from Raw Story on April 21st, and the title of it essentially explains the whole thing. South Carolina woman rams car into Walmart because she thought the rapture was coming. And the story reads, a South Carolina woman admitted that she intentionally crashed her car into a Walmart store because she thought the world was ending. Let me see if there's anything else.
Yeah. She's got to say why, does she?
No, they don't go into depth. The 34-year-old marshal told police that the rapture was coming and that, quote-unquote, God told her to do it.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the crazy that you get. Like, it's kind of fun to have some of this lighter crazy that, a woman crashes car into Walmart.
Yeah, she didn't take any lives or anything, with her, but or hers, but that is pretty funny.
And I just want to point out that if I believe the rapture was coming, it just makes sense that would be the thing I would do is ram my car into Walmart.
Yeah, no shit. Why the hell would she do that?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
The rapture is coming. Throw this light bulb. Okay. Yeah. It saved us all.
Yeah, it's I've been watching Rick and Morty, which is an awesome show, and they have this following of the heads, the Church of the Flying Heads, and they're like, well, you can at least see the heads, and it's hilarious. So you should, if anybody here is a Rick and Morty fan who's listening, you should definitely go rewatch that one. That one's a pretty good one. All right, so let's close it off with a story from Matt.
Alrighty, it's the secular story. So this is coming from Pathos. The title, Proselytizing High School Teacher Thinks He Got Fired Because He's a Christian. But that is not the case. Excuse me. So Robert Hudson, a non-tenured teacher at a Cathedral City High School in California, won't have his contract renewed next year, and he believes it's because of his Christian faith, which is not the case. What he sees as Christian persecution is really a version of Christian proselytizing, and the district appears to be letting him go before they're hit with any lawsuits. So this teacher, he hung up Christian quotations throughout his classroom, so Bible quotes. He played Christian music in his classroom, and he wasn't like the band teacher or anything like that. And this is what he said right here, quote, "The only thing I can think of is that I am being harassed about my faith in Jesus Christ."
No, you're being harassed because you're trying to spread your faith in Jesus Christ in a public fucking school. You know, there should be a separation of church and state. You know, you want to spread your religion, go start up a church. Don't do it in a fucking school when they're young minds you're supposed to be shaping, you know, with science and knowledge, not fucking dogma. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's funny how people put themselves in situations that it's like, I'm going to do everything I can to proselytize, and then I'm going to pretend like I'm the victim.
Like that cop.
Yes. And that cop story we covered a week ago or a couple weeks ago. Actually, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it was a while ago now.
Yeah,
maybe close to a month.
Because we took last week off. So, and then they act like they're the victim. I don't know what I did. What did I do wrong? I'm just swinging my arms. I'm not doing anything wrong. I have a right to swing my arms.
Yeah.
And the quote that came out of a law professor, I can't remember which one, and it may have been a judge on the Supreme Court, that says that you're right to swing your fist. It ends at the tip of my nose.
Yeah.
So
it's like, I'm going to do this, and if you get in the way, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's childish.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit we used to do when we were 10.
And I'm sure that he's been talked to about it, too, which makes it more sad. So...
Yeah, it doesn't say anything here if he was, but you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
Yeah,
it does
I'm sure
say
he
that
was warned.
They talked to him about taking the stuff down, and he was like, "Why? Why do I have to take it down?" So I bet they did talk to him, told him to take the shit down, told him to stop playing the music, and he
just kept doing it.
And
so
they
got fired his ass. Good. Yeah. I love a good story like this. It makes me happy that a school actually was like, no, you can't do that, sorry, and then fired him, you know, instead of passing out Christian pamphlets, you know. And I hate stories like that.
And having to have a Satanist go and do something to correct the situation.
Yeah. Hail Satan.
I love how the Satanists always get involved and always end up doing the right thing and getting the right thing done, you know.
Yep, for sure. Is there anything else we want to cover? We got like maybe a minute left.
I'm good. I just wanted to point out that Matt has some, what are those? Chili cheese fries?
Yeah, they're delicious.
They look freaking awesome.
And Vegas was awesome, too. So
oh, yeah. How was Vegas?
It was good.
And I got your message, by the way. Thank you on the happy birthday. I meant to call you back, and I spaced it. So.
Yeah, my bad in the first place. Won $450 playing poker.
Oh,
so
sweet.
Covered the whole trip, essentially, with that alone.
I thought you won more than that.
Well, I mean... Those were my profits. So, like, I won $422 on the tournament, but I paid $75 to buy in, and I won money off the tables to make it up to $450 total in profit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good times, and got to play some basketball. Won 3 out of 5 games, which kind of wasn't quite what we wanted, but it was close enough.
Yeah.
So, let's end on this note. Please rate, comment, and subscribe because that helps us out more than you can imagine. is loud. All right.
I don't know why, but I want to touch my nipples. Doesn't this music make you
No,
want? Just rub your nipples, everybody.
no, but-
if you're listening, just
but
yes,
also
there you go,
join us-
Matt.
join
Rub
us
'em.
I'm rubbing my nipples.
Join us on the Evil Atheist Facebook group
Rub
page.
your nipples, Josh.
And have a good one.
Bye, guys.